Yeah, guys. So today what we will discuss about the stacks creation through Terraform. Dev stack, QA stack, and prod stack will create through Terraform. What are the files will be there in the stack? For example, in the dev stack or QA stack. So main.tf, versions.tf, providers.tf, variables.tf. So and there is a state file also. Terraform TF state. So we have a it will created. So when you run the Terraform apply, right, it will create the Terraform state. So what Terraform state contains? A Terraform state contains your infra changes will be created in one file. So this infra changes will be created in one file, guys. So what Terraform state maintains? Terraform maintains a state file. Terraform maintains a state file that tracks current the current state of your infrastructure. Infrastructure. This state helps Terraform understand the understand the differences between the desired and the actual states of infra your infrastructure. So enabling it to make informed decisions when you apply the changes. Enabling enabling it to make informed decisions when you apply changes. Decisions when you apply the okay. So the Terraform state I will discuss in the Terraform state. So in which language we are writing the code in the Terraform, guys? HCL HCL language. So Terraform uses HashiCorp configuration language. What is that? HashiCorp HashiCorp configuration language. So what this is? HCL HashiCorp configuration language. So which is designed specially for defining the infrastructure. It's a human readable and expressive, making it easier for both the developer and the operators to work with, guys. Understood? Yeah. So today we'll segregate. Today we'll create a stack. Today. So we'll create a stack and we'll create the infra. Okay, guys understood? So main.tf, providers.tf, variables.tf, versions.tf. Okay. Yeah. So where we can create the 55 batch, right? I will create another folder here. New folder. AWS with the DevOps batch 55. Okay. So this is, yeah, open a folder. Desktop, AWS DevOps batch 55. You can select this one, guys. Yeah, here you can create a files like main.tf and plus provider.tf. Okay. Next, versions.tf. Next, variables.tf. Okay. So this is a main.tf, provider.tf, variables.tf, and versions.tf. Right, guys? The main.tf. So the main.tf, what we will provide? We will provide the provider, like so resources. So first we will create it in the providers. The providers block. What is that? So we will provide the provider. What is the provider, guys? AWS is the provider, right? So we can write the provider. So region. What is that? Region equal to the double quotes, dollar, open close. So in the open close, where dot AWS underscore region. What is that? So we'll keep the regions in the variables.tf, guys. Keep the regions in the variable.tf. And the access key secret key. We are providing here access key secret key. So we can read these values also, guys, but I am writing here. So this is the provider. So provider, okay. Okay, this is providers dot variable and oceans. So in the oceans, so what we will discuss? So we will discuss the Terraform version, right? Terraform. So in the Terraform required version. So which version, guys, we are using? So we are using the Terraform version. Which version, guys, we are using? So greater than or equal to 1.0. So above 1.0 version. So right, and the required provider, required providers. What these providers? These providers yesterday we registered on Terraform, right? This version. So we need to, so in the required providers, you see Terraform and the required provider also. So we can take this Terraform version along with required providers. Okay, required providers equal to, so we need this. Okay, required providers equal to, what else we can write this thing? Yeah, required provider AWS source equal to SE core version. If something like we need another provider, here we can add the another provider also. For example, yeah, we need for example Azure. Yeah, the required provider is, so the version is, yeah, here you see. So provider required provider equal to Azure RM source HashiCorp Azure RM version this one. So provider equal to Azure RM. If you want to create a Azure infra, you can use the provider equal to Azure RM. So the required providers are here. Or else if you want to use Google Cloud. Here, the provider is Google. The provider is Google. Provider equal to Google. If you want to create the infra, this is the provider configuration and this is the version configuration. Version configuration. Guys, right? Understood. This is the version. This is the provider. Yesterday we created, right? So that access key, the secret key. So AWS. So you are taking the values from here, this value from the variables. So versions now you understood. Providers now you understood, right? The variables I will declare variables. Main. In the main.tf, so what we will declare? So we'll declare in the main.tf, main.tf resources. Resource. So what is the resource, guys? Resource equal to AWS underscore instance. Name equal to. So you need to give the name of the resources, right? Something like web one. I'm taking as a web one, guys. So right, in the, so AMI equal to, AMI we need to take from where? Variables. I will declare in the variables. Where? So dollar var dot AMI underscore ID. AMI underscore ID. What this is? This is a AMI and instance underscore type. So instance type also same. So instance type var dot instance type var dot instance underscore type. You need to double quote, guys. Please. Excuse me. right? Instance underscore type. So this is the so this is the yesterday we discussed, right? We discussed about tags also. Sorry, tags. What type of tags you are trying to give? Sorry, guys. Name equal to again. So we need to specify with the dollar var dot name. Okay. So this is the same, like you can define S3 bucket, or if you want, if you define the load balancer, auto scaling, subnet, everything else. So just defining, so var dot. So var dot means, so it will search it in the variables dot tf. Var dot AMID, var dot instance type, so var dot name. So what we will declare? So we will declare it in the variables, this values. That is and providers, oceans. So provider equal to this one, and oceans equal to this one, and provider equal to AWS. So here we need to specify the region. Region also, so we need to specify. Okay. In the variables, now in the variables we can declare variables, right? Variable AWS underscore region. So what is the variable, guys? So variable is AWS underscore region. What this is? This is AWS underscore, what is provider, right? AWS underscore region. Variable equal to AWS underscore region. What this is? This is variable equal to variable AWS underscore region. So we need to declare this variable, right? So for that, description. Description equal to AWS region. What we are providing? So this is the description, guys. Just it will not execute anything. So default. So what is that? Default value. We need to provide the default value US East 1. So US East 1 in the default value. Okay. So what we provided? So we provided the in the providers it is a var dot region. In the var dot region, so it will check it in the variable. In the variable, so the variable is defined variable AWS underscore region, and here main. So variable what is that? AMI ID variable instance type of variable var name. So we need to declare these three also, right? In the variables. So we defined about the provider, region, then so what is that, guys? The same we can copy it. It will easily. Okay. So variable, what is that? AMI ID, AMI underscore ID. So AMI ID, guys, description. So what is the description? So description is ID of the AMI Amazon Mission Image to provision default. So default is, so we'll take which one? We'll take the we'll take Amazon Linux to image. Okay. So what is that default? Not default. So we will take the Amazon AMI ID. So Amazon AMI is yesterday we took this Amazon AMI ID. Okay, this is a default one. Okay, again we need to take which one? Instance type. What is that, guys? Instance type. Where that instance type, right? We need to declare instance underscore TOP type. So instance type description is so type the EC2 instance to provision. Type of the EC2 instance to provision. Okay. So what is the default value, guys? We need to provide the value in the default. What is that? T2 micro. So what is that, guys? T2 micro. Again, for the tag names, right? The tag name, we took that var dot name, right? So var dot name means name. So what is the description? Name to pass to name tag. Name to pass to name tag. So what is the default, guys? What do we got? Terraform. So we will give a Terraform 1, server name equal to Terraform 1, that tag me. Okay. So now you understood, right, guys? So we declared the all these variables. Main. So main AWS resource. If you want to add, you can add the ALB, EBS, everything. Okay. The provider, we provided which provider variables. So yeah, we defined the variables. Versions. The version is Terraform greater than 1.0. The required providers are HashiCorp 5.950. This is the provider for the AWS. Okay, provider version. Yeah. So go to terminal, new terminal, ls. So PowerShell, right? I want to take this as a git bash. Okay. Terraform git. Are you continuing to execute the Terraform command? Yes. It is executing Terraform need. This is for initializing. Unsupported block. How many? Invalid multi-line string. Provider.tf, line number 2. AWS region. Access key. Quoted strings may not be split over multiple lines. To produce the multiple line string, either you use the slash and escape to represent or a new line character or the doc multi-line template syntax. What is this, guys? Invalid multi-string region equal to var underscore new. In this way, AWS underscore region provider. Yeah, this being missed. Yeah, next, unterminated template string on provider's TF line, AWS region, invalid multi-string, secret key, variable declaration, unsupported block type. variable.tf line number variable. Okay, need to save this. Okay, now the code is correct, guys. It is initializing instances. Okay, right? 154054. EC2 instances. Created EC2 instance. Yeah, guys, I'm terminating the EC2 instance. Okay. Yeah. So that installation part is completed. Now let's check it, guys. The .terraform file is created. Okay. So this is created, and the terraform.log also created. So terraform.log also created. So the terraform state file is not created at what is that, guys? The terraform state tf state. Yeah. So now here, what is that? Terraform plan. You see, guys, terraform.log info is created. So one to add. So what is that? So that one is nothing but a creation. So AWS underscore instant dot web will be created. Data. So web is created. What we defined in the AMI in the instance type. So the all optional. If you want, you can provide, or else it will take by default. Okay. So plan 0 to add, 0 to change, and 0 to destroy. Okay. 0 to change, 0 to destroy. Yep. Terraform apply. So AWS instance is creating. Now you see guys, so this is created. What is the tag we created? Web, right? Why this is not Terraform one, right? Let's see. Apply completed. Name Terraform one. Already created tags. Provider variables. Default Terraform one. You can name what we process tags, instance type of tags, name. Yep. Here we will set this tags close and provider close. Document.log the session required. Yeah, tags equal to name. This one close one. It is main.f line number 10. Oh, already find out. You see, guys. So you are trying again apply. So instance apply, refreshing state. So this is already created. So no changes. Your infrastructure matches the configuration. So Terraform has compared your real infrastructure against your configuration and found no differences. So no changes are needed. Okay, you see, guys. So Terraform state file is created. In the Terraform state file, whatever we created, it will be defined here. So name web1. Okay, the AMI, the availability zone, and yeah, this is the instance ID. Okay, IP address, DNS, public IP, that uh, volume, secondary. Okay, so right, this is the Terraform state. Whatever your infrastructure, right, your infrastructure will be created same like this. This is the private key also. Okay, so you guys keep this Terraform state file in some other places because of so if it is missed, right, if it is deleted, so we can't do anything. Okay, can't do anything. So yesterday, so what he asked something like Satish. Satish is doing the Terraform apply. I am also doing the Terraform Terraform apply. But he is working in his laptop. So mine is working in my laptop, my laptop. Okay, and he is also using same. credential. Same credentials. I am also using same credentials. Okay. So I'm also using same credentials. So when you apply from so when you apply same credentials or a different credentials. So for example, different so different credentials. They're using their username. I'm using my username. So right. So when you apply the Terraform, how it will seeing something like a lock, how it will get the lock based on Terraform TF state. What is that? So based on the Terraform TF state. So he is also downloading the same file. I am also downloading the same file. The both the Terraform state file is same. So then you can try to execute the apply the something like you modified in the main.tf. You are trying to apply this command. So then you and mine Satish and mine Terraform state file is same, right? So based on the Terraform state file, it will get the log. Guys, understood? Guys, understood? Siri, Pradeep,
Yeah, yeah.
understood, right? So this is the way you guys can do the Terraform to the Terraform. For example, I want to change the main variables.tf. In the variables.tf, I'm changing it to my T2 micro to, I will change it to, what is the free tier eligible, guys? Launch instance, instance type, compare the instance types. So compare the instance types. I'm changing from T2 micro to T2 small. Okay, it changed, huh? Answer, free tier eligible is only this is the one free tier eligible, huh? T2 nano, one CPU. T2 micro to T2 nano. For example, I will change it to T2 micro to T2 nano. T2 nano. Right. I'm changing this. Okay. T2 micro to T2 nano. Yeah. T2 nano. Let's see, guys. Instances. Okay. Yeah. T2 micro to T2 nano. So installation, one time installation is enough. Just apply the Terraform plan. Just take the plan. Yeah, guys. Here you can see. So update in place. What is that? So update in place. Terraform user to selected the provider to generate the following execution plan. Resource actions are indicated with the following symbols. So before yeah, before it is creating. So in the Terraform plan, one to add, zero to change, zero to destroy. Okay. So this is zero to add. We are not adding anything. Just we are changing from T2 micro to T2 nano. Here you see. So ID is this is the one. Instance type is T2 micro to T2 nano. So then public DNS and public DNS and public IP. Tags are Terraform. Okay. Now you understood. You are trying to change it. Here it see. Yeah, here T2 micro enter a value. Instance web modifying. So still modifying. Yeah. So we want to change the T2 micro to T2 nano, right? So that time we need to stop the instances, change the instance change, then start the instances. It will take time. Guys, understood? Siri, understood? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So zero to change, zero to destroy. Refresh. Yeah. You see, it is it is changed. It is changed. So what I want to do, I want to destroy. I want to destroy the things. So what is the command? Terraform destroy. If you execute the Terraform destroy, so whatever the stack means, your entire infrastructure will be destroyed. Your entire infrastructure will be destroyed. But I don't want to destroy entire infra. I want to destroy something like my EC2 instance. I have a two EC2 instances. I don't need a one EC2 instance. I want to destroy the EC2 instance, or I want to destroy the, you see guys here. So everything will be null. Everything will be null. So you see, destroyed, minus destroyed. See, everything will be minus, minus, minus. So if you want to create plus, 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 okay. So everything will be equal to null. Entire infrastructure will be, if you use the Terraform destroy, the entire infrastructure will be destroyed. So what we will discuss tomorrow, we'll discuss tomorrow how to destroy a particular resource. So how to destroy a particular resource? We'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, you see, the infrastructure will be terminating, stopping, then terminating. You see? So shutting down, then terminate. Yeah. So destroy completes. So here you see plan. 0 to add, 0 to change, 1 to destroy. So before it is we modified, right? So 0 added, only 1 changes, 0 to destroy. So on that before, so 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. 0 to destroy. Understood? We added the infra, we modified the infra, we destroyed the infra. Yes, understood?
Yes, correct.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. So now you understood, right? How to build your infra through Terraform. So how to build your infra through Terraform. Yeah, guys. So tomorrow we will provision the uh, web server, something like it's like a Tomcat or Apache, and we will deploy the code, okay, through Terraform. Yeah, guys. So we'll continue from tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.